It's time for a potty break. 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 I said potty break. Potty break. Potty break. Potty break. Potty break. Oh yeah, that's right. You are tuned in to the third part of this three-part series of the Wyoming Pop Culture Con. This episode is off the chain, as some would say. Maybe? I don't know. This isn't a very good intro. Either or. This episode, we sit down and we chat with Christine from Double Dfense NYR podcast. If you're a hockey fan, definitely get them ears ready. And then we have the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend, Jason London. I tell you what, walking with him over to the booth to sit down, I felt like the coolest kid in town. Or school, or something. Either or, you're tuned in to Three Wheel Bicycle Podcast. We're out of Casper, Wyoming. This episode is sponsored by Little Shop of Burgers, B Diesels, and Trailer Park Baker. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and be sure to share it up with your friends.
Was that a kid yelling? Where'd that just come from?
That's his daughter.
Yeah, it's the intro music.
Oh my god. I can't. I'm so tripping out right now. It sounds like there's a little girl next to me.
Yeah.
What's happening right now?
We are, what is this? Day 3 of the Wyoming Pop Culture Con.
That's right.
We have Christine
Yes, that's my name.
here with us.
Thank you.
You have a podcast too.
I do have a podcast.
I think so.
So, I am a part of a hockey. I'm a sports podcast. We are Double Dfense NYR on Instagram, and it's double underscore Dfense. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. We are an all-female hockey podcast. We give a female perspective to the sport, news around the sport, and so forth. And then we love learning from other people too. That's been our greatest thing for the first year. Is kind of, working with other podcasters and
Intermingling, I guess.
it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, how long have you guys had this podcast for?
Shoot.
5?
5-6 years, but I had a couple others too.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, you gotta, what's it called? You gotta try a couple, and then all of a sudden, like a gem appears or some shit.
Oh, there you go. See?
Well, I guess this would be the third podcast that I did, or I have started.
Right.
3 Wheel, yeah.
Yeah.
Were they more designed to like a more specific topic? Because this one, you guys sound like you just kind of cover general things. And
Yeah, well, to be quite honest with you, the other couple that I had, we'd just be sitting around. Well, I mean, we do sit around and drink beer and talk, but
So
like
do we.
it's more like, I guess this one's more of
we may have
more
wine and
structure.
cocktails and everything when we record ours as well.
where do you record your show at?
I live in LA, so two of us hosts live in LA. We're displaced New York Ranger fans, so we're both from New York, and our third co-host represents the Canadian portion of the hockey world. She lives in Calgary, and she's a Pittsburgh Penguins fan.
Ooh, the Penguins.
So we get together, on StreamYard and we try to do it weekly, to keep up with the news. We're kind of in limbo with hockey season.
Yeah.
But I hear you guys are hockey fans as well, so I think you're a bigger fan left.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where Scafty went.
Because we're in Wyoming too, so there's not a hockey team here.
No. Oddly enough, there's some league that's starting up, and I think it's September. It's like the Roughneck, some shit. But,
oh, nice. That's good to hear.
When I was a kid, we had the Casper Drillers, they were called, and I think they were college kids, but it wasn't through the college. It was just people.
Oh, yeah, just get together and play for fun.
But it was awesome. I loved it. It was the coolest thing. They made them change their name because they fought too much.
Oh.
And they thought because their name was the Drillers, that's why they fought. Or
So you got a goon squad there.
Right.
Really,
it
got
was
it.
cool though. I mean, it was super cool. It was fun.
This does not seem secure.
Oh, it's. I promise. I'm a fabricator, dude.
So how did you guys find about this con?
We live here.
You live here?
Yep.
So that's good. Makes it easy.
Right.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, there's I guess I ain't gonna say the other thing, but this has been going on, or this event has been in the works for quite a few years, I guess. And when I was asked to do it, like a couple years ago, when I met Carla, and I don't remember the other guy's name. I apologize if you're listening, whatever, it don't matter. But when they asked me to do it, I was like, oh shit, yeah, because like my artwork is like pop culture.
Oh, perfect.
You know what I mean?
All right.
And well, not only that, like I like events like this. You know what I mean? Like, we're all hanging out, having a good time. You know? And there's so many see, it's even cool. Well, all this shit's cool, but the fact that you came all the way from L.A.
I did. So I brought a couple friends of mine. So, So we have some some celebrities that are here. And I do it with my friends because I love to see people's reactions.
Yeah.
When they were like, "Oh, you're the Flash," and "Oh, you were in Star Wars," and my new favorite people in the whole wide world are the guys from Land of the Lost. They have a boat and a sleeve stack, and oh my God, I'm in love.
Yeah.
And I've been in the boat a few times. The
Yeah.
raft, I'm like, it's so much fun. And again, exploring. I've never been to this state ever. I don't know anything about it. I came off the airplane and saw turkeys and heard that you guys have antelope, and I'm still kind of weirded out about that.
Yeah. Yep.
I thought they only existed in Africa. So,
No, they actually roam the streets here.
I haven't seen one yet.
Right. The weird thing is, the antelope is related to everything in Africa, but it is the pronghorn.
Yeah.
This is the only
It's
place
more
in
like
the
a
world
sheep
that they exist.
variation.
Yeah, it's a goat. It's
a goat.
I call it an
I didn't love it's a goat.
Oh,
It
tell
is
her
a goat.
that. Tell her
Like, I'm
that
such a
story
sucker.
about. Tell her that story about how that lady asked you about how reindeers or some shit.
Oh, jeez.
No, elk.
Yeah, oh, that's right.
Elk
Yeah.
was my buddy.
They're in
He
Colorado.
told me- yeah, and he lived in Colorado. There's elk here too.
Oh.
Lots of them. Anyways, he was telling me he worked for Furniture Row back in the day, and he had a lady in there and was like, so at what elevation do deer turn into elk? And he's like, oh, yeah, like, 5,500 feet. Just straight lied to her. It's like, 5,500 feet.
Yeah, you just gotta
Something
go
like
with it. I would do the same
just
thing.
let her leave and believe that.
Why would you just dash people's hopes and dreams?
Right.
Let
Well,
them
it's
live.
like the lady that was like, well, if the deer hit here all the time, why don't you just move the crossing sign to somewhere else
yeah.
where there's not so much traffic?
That's logical, though. Come on.
Yeah.
I wonder
Why not?
I wonder how they put those signs, like how they post them. Like this is,
It's
is somebody out there like tracking how many deer go across the street? And then,
game
like,
and fish. Game
Where
and
they
fish do that.
decide, where they decide where to put the sign.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. They don't listen. They can't read.
Right, exactly. Right.
Did we think about that?
Exactly.
And then the turkeys, like, so I go to New York a lot, and I'm on Staten Island. I stay there, and there's turkeys there, but they're gangs, right? So they're gonna roam around in sets of 30 of them,
Right.
and they block the road, and it's not like you see dead turkeys on the road. Like no one's running them over or anything, which I was kind of surprised about. You know.
I agree. I have very much been like, I'm not stopping. If these turkeys don't move, I'm going.
But you never hit one, right?
I haven't.
Oh,
They're
see?
smart enough. They get out of the way.
They move. So it's crazy here. But this is a fun event. I have to give credit, like for someone who's gonna, have an idea.
Yeah.
And what I understand is like this event did go on before, and I know we have had challenging times. People are trying to kind of reform things, and it's hard work. A lot of work goes into doing this, and when it's someone's dream and you see it come to fruition, that's a successful event.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
And
I agree.
So it's good. So this is like day 3, and actually there's been a lot of people coming through today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is nice to see.
And everybody has been blasting everything on Facebook.
Yeah.
All these
Good.
people being
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Hey, you guys got to show up."
That's good.
Oh,
I heard in Wyoming that people do things last minute. So is that a thing?
Well, it's been so nice. It's been raining here, like nonstop, like it never has since I was a little kid. And it finally was a good weekend right after 4th of July. Everybody's going camping. Everybody's out in the woods.
When you don't expect that, yeah.
Right.
Oh, okay. And then they should.
Now it's Sunday. Everybody's got to work tomorrow, so everybody's back at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if it's close and they're local, I have seen people travel. There's a lot of people from Colorado here that I've seen.
Nebraska.
A couple of towns I don't know in the state that they drove from, and I love it. They're like, "Oh, where's that?" They're like, "It's near this other town I've never heard of." That's the way people feel when I tell them where I'm from.
Right.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, our whole state.
Like I don't know where people think I live. And when you ask, like, what part of LA? I'm like, LA. I'm actually on the east side, and I'm closer to Disneyland.
And there's more people in that one little town than there is in our whole state.
I know.
Wyoming doesn't exist.
It's a lot. Things are a lot spread out. I don't know that all that much.
I'm
such a suburban
It's perfect
girl.
happy medium for me.
Yeah.
Not too many people, not too little people. We have a mall, we have a Walmart, we have
This one, and the Walmart. You don't have a Walmart, you have the Walmart.
But we have a place
That's
to
the
go buy
difference.
clothes. We have a place to, and I love it.
That's good.
I lived in Phoenix for a while, and I can't stand that many people that drive me crazy.
Yeah, I don't know otherwise.
I love it. I love it.
So,
So what do you do outside of podcasting? You said you just kind of started dipping your feet in the water, I guess, so to speak. Is that
in what? Oh no.
podcasting?
Oh well, we're new, so we're really new, and it's been a great learning experience just to even go onto the StreamYard and get our link tree up, and between the three of us, even editing. So we're learning editing and getting guests on, and just figuring out how to do all these things. We are. I think we're going to try to get onto this network, a sports network, and even just topics to talk about. I mean, we're, luckily we've watched. We just had in NHL world, we just had the awards show, and then we had the draft. Which is only a week and a half ago, and then we had the free agency trades just like went crazy. So your friend's comment was right. Like Blackhawks are loading up. They came in just under the Ducks. And the Ducks are actually getting some thugs. So and then we're trying to focus on our own team that we have more knowledge of, which is the New York Rangers. And now the schedule just came out too, so we got to try to figure out some road trips. It was a great of the season. Like, are you Vegas Knights fans? Have you they are a great team.
Yeah.
Yes.
Their social media is the best. The guy,
Really?
whoever does it, is so funny. I love it. So we did a game there in December. Vegas is great. I mean, everyone's all blingy. They're all really friendly. You get a couple of little Vegas shows in their intermission between the games. Like, that's how crazy it is there. But it's really fun.
I've never been to Vegas.
You know what they do? Like, we were sitting there, my girlfriend and I, and we got a penalty. One of the Rangers got a penalty. They put him in the penalty box. Now all of a sudden, the whole crowd starts chanting something, and we're like, what is it? They're chanting, shame, shame, shame. And we're just looking at each other like, what is happening right now?
That's cool.
So it's fun. Have you guys traveled around and done anything different?
I've
Adventurous?
Yeah, I've been around a lot of places. Lived in Phoenix, lived in Colorado.
But I've been doing your podcast.
Oh, this?
Yeah?
No, not really. Stevie's been to South Dakota before, where he's from.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Vegas. Been there once.
But
Yeah?
not with the podcast.
Not with the podcast, no. I
You
just
can do
got
podcasts
this.
from anywhere, too.
Yeah, well, I just got this. Like,
Yeah.
I know. I
Last-
don't have that. You guys are fancy.
and you should have seen it from like the
We have our
starting.
computers.
You should,
microphone,
You should come to the
selfie
garage and
stick.
see where we do our podcast on.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have a little studio. Yeah, some of the
Yeah.
guys we
No,
know.
it's a garage.
Yeah, some of the guys we know. There's a podcast that's called Mind Your Pucking Business. They're fabulous. I think they encouraged us. We were on their show. I think they were. It's a great. Because again, one of the things we've learned is, listening to the guys' perspective. Again, I know you guys are hockey fans, but like, guys think differently than women.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
love learning, like when you listen to a guy's podcast on sports, let's say, they're really into like the cap and statistics and and where they were traded from the last 4 trades.
Yeah.
And and I have kids that play hockey, so I'm a hockey mom as well.
Yes.
So because I see the difference between youth hockey and how they learn and like the goons and the strategy and the physicality of the sport. So you get all these different kind of views and kind of mix it together, and then listen to what other their perspective of it is, of the player and the coaches.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing always was when people are like, oh, so and so's not as good as he was last year because the numbers weren't the same. But I'm like, everything's in motion. How can you compare it?
Yeah,
So.
for sure. Yeah.
And then he ended up having our goalie had the best season he's ever had at the end of the season. So I'm like, I got on social media and I challenge a couple of the men on the boards because they try to mansplain things to me.
Oh, yeah.
And then I take them down. And it's kind of fun for me to do that.
Hell yeah.
So it's
I have a
good.
sister and a wife. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so it's, and it's been interesting because some people just don't realize that, we actually love to talk about hockey. We're knowledgeable of it, and we just continue to learn.
Right.
So,
I think it's badass. I love it.
and you got to pay more attention too. So that's what we've been doing.
Paying attention.
Right.
So you're saying you're a fan, but you don't really watch it that much.
Well, okay. So I'm an artist.
Yes, I can see.
And I got 3 kids, juggling 2 jobs, doing the podcast thing. I started a radio station too. I put too
Good
many
job.
irons in the fire, I guess.
Well, it's good. It keeps you busy.
Yeah.
So.
But I miss out on earlier when you're like, oh, so what team? And it's like, what did I say right away? I'm I'm a Blackhawks fan, but I gotta admit I have not watched hockey in a while.
Well, I'll tell you something interesting too. We try to watch the games, and it's kind of hard. There's not really one channel to watch things on. So I would get Game Center, and my girlfriend would get ESPN Plus, and there was always a day where one of us couldn't get the game. And I remember scrolling through the channels, and I'm like, wait a minute, it's on ESPN Deportes, so I have to watch it in Spanish.
Right.
And if not, I'm just on my app listening to the game.
ESPN Plus Gold Package,
Wait,
triple chime
You
7.
can listen to
Whatever.
my favorite is listening to the Canadian games on the Canadian channel. If you have an NHL, you listen, and they do it in French. It's fancy. I love it.
I bet. Yeah, it sounds sexy.
But the Desportes one, it was fun because they were like, goal! I mean, this goal is beautiful. I enjoyed everything. So, but that's one of the things we also talk about. It's some of the challenges, in the sport, and we also during the season we'll do drink pairings with each of the home game, the Ranger games. So. Depending on how they play, if they're winning, I'll look for winning beer, or when they play Winnipeg Jets, there was a Jet beer.
Right.
So we get creative in kind of finding drink pairings, and we also like to support when I've done, if I do an event or I'm with friends and I see someone, I met a person doing his own tequila company, so I love to meet people and support them too, local breweries on Long Island, and that's been kind of fun too if I can do that.
Right.
So
Well, it's really exciting that just like, I don't know, people from all over came here, you know what I mean? Sitting
We
down,
did.
chatting with you, like,
Yeah.
you know, networking, I guess is what it's called, right?
it's
Right.
networking. Yeah, just going to meet people. It's fun to see other, podcasters. You guys got some pretty good setups. I mean, we just have our laptops,
Well,
So,
yeah. We
but it's
coming
good.
up,
It's a passion.
We move and
Yeah.
Yeah.
It used to just be a little thing.
Yeah, just a little guy.
Do you ever have a guest on your show besides myself?
Yeah. So we'll bring it all the way back. Like, so the podcast started with just doing like nasty shots.
Ooh.
Yes. And like we would do the
That's
live
a no.
videos.
Okay.
Throw up Thursday.
Oh no.
Yeah. We'd do it every Thursday. It'd be live, right? And people would like obviously, oh my God, is Stevie gonna puke again? Like shit just got fucking annoying. Plus like going to work the next day, hella hungover, you know?
Oh my god. Well, I did one of my podcasts hungover, and I did not. I mean, the whole time you could tell.
Yeah.
I think that was our most viewed one to date. So we're working on that.
We kind of like tried revamping it, I guess, a little bit, other than just like the whole focus on it was getting hammered, puking, nobody.
It's kind of your own little version of the hot ones, right? So you just kind of see what you can do.
Yeah. So then just like I tried to like reach out to like the local bands, small businesses around town and just try to fucking push everything as much as possibly can. And that's
Morphed into what we do now.
If you learn something from this podcast,
or
if you laugh, fucking my job is done.
Exactly. Like our biggest guest that I have on the show is my son.
Rad.
He's very knowledgeable in the sport. He kind of gives us the West Coast rundown, and he's actually pretty funny with my friends. I'm like, he can hold his own with the conversation. He's 23, and he actually lives in Vegas. So, but he's a Kings fan, LA Kings fan.
Right.
So, and it helps to explain things because if we have new listeners who don't know hockey that well, like sometimes we'll have them come on and just kind of explain certain things.
Right.
So that's kind of fun too.
Hell yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it's good. So do you guys have any other cons? What about this rodeo? There's rodeos in town. You go to that?
I'm born and raised here. I'm kind of rodeoed out.
And then there's the fair. Like, there's so much going on here at the same time.
There is a fair going on.
Kind of the timing was not the greatest.
Yeah.
There was a lot of shit going on this weekend.
Yeah.
Either or, there's more traffic coming in here right now.
I know. Yeah.
That's right. You're tuned in to Three Wheel Bicycle Podcast. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
That's listening.
I need to go shop now.
Well, hey, thank you for coming on our podcast.
Thank you for having me on, you guys.
We're
follow
have to
us.
check your shit out.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'll come give you a card. But
let-
listeners, Double Dfense, DFENSE _ New York Rangers or NYR. You can easily find us. It's Sarah, Liz, and Christine. We're on Instagram. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you have podcasts, we can be found. You can find us Double Dfense. Easy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, that's not the applause.
No, that wasn't the outro, but either or.
Let's try it again. Where's my applause?
Yeah. Oh wait, it's on.
Oh.
It's on there.
There we go.
Am I too loud?
Oh shit.
I can't hear anything. I can hear the conversation over there right now. It's so weird in here.
Oh, I know. It's kind of cool. You listen to people talking way over there.
That girl thing though.
Where's that coming
Yeah, that's our intro. That's my daughter.
I love it. That's great.
Yeah, we were pissing off in the
I thought it was like a kid right or something. Where'd the kid come from?
Shit. How are you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing great, man.
Yeah.
I'm loving the weather up here. We live in Orlando, Florida, and you might as well just shower with the clothes on there because it's so humid and hot. This is like heaven to us. I know everybody up here is like, oh, this is extra hot. And we're like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Come to Florida. We'll show you extra hot.
So what you been up to these days, man?
Oh, man. Well, just did a big move we were living in Mississippi for like 5 years, and my girl and I, she got a great job in Orlando. That's where she grew up. Her family is and everything anyway. And so we sort of concentrated the last several months into getting moved, and I got a show that I created with Corin Nemec that we shot the pilot for last year, and we're busy shopping that around. And I did a couple of movies with Mickey Rourke last year, and the director David Lipper, who's a fantastic guy and actor, and with my twin brother Jeremy, we did 2 movies back to back with Mickey Rourke. That dude's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my 3rd film I've done with him, and I still never get used to it.
Yeah. This is like an honor and a fucking privilege.
Thank you, brother. I really appreciate that. It's weird to have people say that to you.
Yeah.
But I feel the same way about other people as well. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm here at the booth. We're right by the land of the lost people, and and my girl, she's like had never really watched it or anything, but I was like, that was my childhood.
Yeah.
I watched it every time it was on. I watched it, so it's really cool to have them right there with us. We've had to hear the Dragon Tail song and the Land of the Lost song about 75 times a day, but that's okay. I've just gotten to where I've learned the words by now.
That's probably why you're tired.
Really, honestly, man, it's been a breeze. It's been great, and to be able to just step out and feel the beautiful air you have here, and maybe some people don't appreciate it just because they're from here or whatever, but you got to understand, coming into here, it's not only beautiful, but just the air feels healthy compared to other places. I lived in LA for 27 years, and you get kind of to where you're used to it, but you still just never really truly, especially if you come from like Texas, like myself, and I never quite felt fit in, and never. I always knew that I was going to get out as soon as I could. And luckily, I've been doing this long enough now that I don't have to live in LA or New York or whatever. I can live wherever I want to and still do whatever I want. And I'm on the writing, producing, directing side of things more these days, and that's what I really enjoy doing.
I got a question for you.
Yeah, sure.
So, are you a football fan?
I am a football fan. Yeah. I'm not like a diehard statistics guy or anything like that. But no, I grew up mostly in Oklahoma, and then when I think I was in like the 8th grade, we moved down to DeSoto, Texas, near Dallas. And in Oklahoma, you're either a Oklahoma State Cowboys fan or you're an Oklahoma Sooners fan. And I grew up being a Sooners fan, and thank goodness, because my grandma would have disowned me if I was showed loyalty or allegiance to anybody else. Man, my grandma could tell you every player. God rest her soul, but she could tell you every player, the high school they went to. She could tell you everything about them. It was amazing. So I grew up it's mostly college football is what I grew up with, and then luckily I'm old enough to have been born whenever the Cowboys were still great. The Dallas Cowboys. Oh man, I'm still a fan, but gosh, they haven't done crap since 1995. That was their last championship, 95.
Fucking that's
the year my daughter was born.
Aikman, was it? Aikman was playing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm aging myself a little bit here, but. Man, you think about it. I know it because the year my daughter was born, and she's 27, so it's been 27 years since the Cowboys went to the finals. Man. Come on, guys.
We need that other.
What's that? Background, or what is it? No,
I don't know where
it's a cool little machine you got there.
Thanks, man.
It's pretty great. I like the mobility of it too. It's great, and the sound quality is fantastic.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? When we recorded the other day, like how you can hear people in the background?
Oh yeah,
it doesn't pick it up.
Yeah, it's not so bad. I mean, you can hear the crowd right now, but it's actually sort of like a nice sort of background buzz. It's not overwhelming. So sometimes it can just get overwhelming. Yeah.
When my daughter was here. Well, she is here somewhere.
Around here somewhere.
Yeah. We recorded one, and then I was like, all right, sweetheart, well, I'm going to turn it off. No doubt. I want to listen to what people are saying.
Yeah, no, because it's pretty cool. I mean, it is pretty cool.
Heck yeah, buddy?
He's like, what the heck is going on? He's like, people at least. Look at those shiny lights. Remember when something like a shiny light was exciting? God, I miss those days. I miss those. So I have a question for you. You're based out of Casper, or where are you based? Okay, awesome, man. It's a great place.
Just been doing this podcast stuff for a while, and the art.
This is all you here?
Yes, sir.
Right on, man. Cool, dude. That's some cool stuff. Nice.
It's all spray paint.
Yeah, I can tell. But it's cool. It's all about composition and creativity.
Yeah.
And the RBG, come on, man.
Yeah. Hey, when did you ever in a million years think you would see RBG and Archie Bunker next to each other?
Just incredible.
Only at the Wyoming Pop Culture Con.
I love it. I love it. That's great. That's good stuff.
Just doing this shit, man, and just trying to help out.
Excellent,
inspire
brother.
People,
dude,
you know
man.
what I mean?
That's great. The funny thing is, man, I've been walking around here. I didn't know this back room where you are right now, because this thing's so big. And we're stuck way up at the front up there. So I've done some walking around a little bit, but yeah, this is cool. This thing is. Space-wise is great. It's their first year running this here, and they're kind of just learning as they go. And and I really feel like they'll be able to learn a lot from this and be able to continue on and really do it in a way where they're not sort of having to learn as they go. Once everything has teething troubles, and everything has its. The things that you didn't know about that you learned, and that's just what you have to do. You have to go with it. And it's the turnout's pretty good today, and I think that the more this thing goes on, I think the more the crowds will come in, and man.
Well, there is more traffic today.
There is definitely more traffic today, and they cut the ticket price and things like that, because it's like I said, you live and you learn. I mean, when they come into this, you want to get as many people in the door, so you don't want to jam them at the door with ticket prices, things like that. And once they're in the door, they'll spend the money they have in their pocket that they would have ended up spending on just coming in.
Yeah.
So, but these guys are fantastic and wonderful people.
There's still more people piling in here.
Oh,
which
there
is
is, and also
amazing.
what I've noticed, it's more of a, which I actually appreciate. It's more of a sort of after lunch kind of thing that I've noticed here. A lot of times, you'll get there at say 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning, and there's already a line around the block. And you're like, geez, man, it's going to be. Today's going to be a busy day. All right, dude. I think I might need to get back over to my table, but
beautiful.
Feel free to stop by, hang out anytime.
I sure will. Appreciate you being on the show. Three Wheel Bicycle Podcast. This is day three.
Day three of the Wyoming Pop Convention. Pop Con. Yeah. I get them. We do these every now and then, and so I get them kind of. I'm glad I remember what state I was in.
Well, for those who didn't or don't know, Jay's in London. Pinkford.
Pinkford? You just combined two characters.
Yeah.
No, from Dazed and Confused. I'm Randall Pink Floyd. I'm the star of the movie.
I know.
I don't have the Oscars those other guys have yet. Damn it.
Yeah.
But no, and then there's the character Pickford.
Yeah.
So Pinkford.
It's
funny it's funny that you said that, because I people know this already, so I'm not gossiping or anything. He was the one person that he and I just didn't get along very well.
Yeah.
And he kind of rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And so he ended up basically, McConaughey should send him flowers once a week, because McConaughey got all of his screen time, and because of him being difficult with people. And I mean, everybody lives and learns too. So he, I think he was trying to do something a little more method than the rest of us were, But shit just happens. But it turned out to be a legendary thing that we had,
dude.
No idea that we were doing.
Well,
I was only my favorite movie was always Fast Times. I thought, man, if we can make something that even compares to the first minute of Fast Times, I'll be happy. And if, lo and behold, we're still hanging on with them too, man. It's
and it's bad to the bone, man. Is well, I don't know, just all this whole entire weekend and everything. Like, my kids watch your shit, dude. And like
cool.
it is so rad.
That's cool.
You know what I mean? Like,
I've done a lot of stuff that kids can watch.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's a lot of things. The one that kids really love the most is when I did the remake of Jason and the Argonauts, and I played Jason and the Argonauts, and which was really cool because my ex-wife and I we were at a stoplight in L.A. and I'm driving, and she looks over, and there's something outside the window on my side, but it's like a bus had pulled up to us, and her eyes get real big, and she's like, look, and I turn, and it just says Jason in real big letters, and has my head's half the size of the bus. I was like, that is the most, I would say, like an acid trip moment if I've ever had one. It was just like, life has gotten.
where am I?
Life started being surreal around the age 17, but then now shit just keeps getting even more and more surreal. It's cool. So you got to just appreciate it. And I never set out to be a movie star or famous or anything like that. Man, I was a country kid, farm kid from Oklahoma and Texas. So for me, everything's sort of just been cake. I can't imagine being one of those actors that have tortured themselves their whole life to try to become something that the chances of them getting it are one in tens of millions, and and they'll just torture their whole life for it. And I think that I feel like really blessed. I got really lucky, and somehow by the grace of God, I understood how to do it. I guess I observed and watched people, and that's how they do it. Yeah. That's how this guy does it. And I like the way this guy acts. I like the way this guy says this, and I think it just sort of like came a little natural to me as far as like being able to absorb it and translate it. All right, dude. Okay. I know all my girls back.
We're out of
our
here.
Table.
Thank you once again for being on the show.
You got it, brother. Thanks for having me, man.